Good evening, Black Sox fans. Welcome to today's matchup between the Road Warrior Black Sox and the Killer Bees. We've played one half frame so far. Pitching for the Road Warrior Black Sox is Ben Herrick. Ben kind of signed, was going to sign in Lexington this year so far, but ended up falling through. I'm sure he'll get another chance at some point eventually. And leading off for the Killer Bees is Tyler Reese. Tyler Reese, among one of the league leaders in home runs right now, I believe in the top five, as he takes ball one. That'll make the count 1-1. Tyler Reese, good ball club back in the 2020 Yinzer when we played here with the Slammin' Sammies and the Washington Wild Things and the Brilliant Sox and the Road Warriors. Tyler Reese was originally on the Slammin' Sammies, but got sent over to, I believe, the Road Warrior Black Sox in order to get more playing time. Signed with the Jackals. Played spring training with them, I believe, last year. Is with us now as he fouls off that pitch also. That'll make the count 1-2. Tyler Reese, good ball player, good middle infielder. Ben Herrick, good starting pitcher, solid lefty. Throws a lot of strikes, gets ahead. 1-2 pitch from Herrick. Reese swung on, fouled back. That'll make the count 1-2 still. And we'll do it again here shortly. Going around the infield for the Road Warrior Black Sox, we've got Colin Miner at catcher. My personal pick for hitter of the year so far in this Yinzer season. We've got Jared Anton over at third, solid left-handed bat. Wadi Almonte, speedy left-handed bat. As that is hit over to second base, fielded cleanly and fired over to Frankie Podkul over at first. That'll be out number 1. I believe that is Stanziano a second. We'll get back to you on that one. Frankie Podkul's over at first. Solid bat. Let's see. In the outfield, we've got Trevor Mckinley, who has been red hot, hitting 2 home runs yesterday alone. Cody Lovejoy signed with Fargo Moorhead Redhawks for a while. As Omar Artson swings at the 0-0 pitch and skies it way high, that'll be an easy play for Frankie Podkul. That'll be 2 outs. Cody Lovejoy signed with the Fargo Moorhead Redhawks over in North Dakota. That's an American Association team. And Jarrell McDade signed over in the Pioneer League earlier this year. He's in right field. And that'll bring to the box Derek Hurt. Derek Hurt, also another Pioneer League guy. Solid bat, a lot of pop, a lot of speed, good utility. As he gets the 0-0 from Herrick, shows bunt, pulls back, and that'll be ball 1. Or strike 1. Not sure. Umpire kind of flicked his wrist there towards the end a little bit. Seems like a late strike call. But the count is 0-1, Herrick to Hurt. That ball's off the plate. That'll make the count 1-1. Derek Hurt, solid bat, was here last year in the Yinzer. Went on an absolute tear, being, I believe, the Road Warrior Black Sox premier center fielder. As he hits one to deep right field, but McDade's got a beat on it, and he'll make the catch for out number 3. So after the first inning, the score is tied 0-0. No hits, no errors for both teams. And we'll be right back after these messages. Welcome back, Black Sox fans. We're here in the top of the second inning. Pitching for the Killer Bees is Keegan Wright. Keegan, excellent arm, signed to the Florence Yalls this year. My apologies, I almost said Florence Freedom, as Colin Miner, the catcher for the Road Warrior Black Sox, fouls that down the left field line. Keegan has been a solid pitcher so far. I believe leads the league in innings pitched. Going around the horn for the Killer Bees, we've got their catcher Soto, solid defensively. Third baseman Tyler Reese. Tyler Reese, usually a middle infielder, but moved over for the new addition to the Killer Bees, V. Desai. V. Desai coming off his stint with Three Rivers, a Frontier League team. Before that was with the Cleburne Railroaders. As Colin Miner takes that pitch for strike number 2, that'll move the count to 0-2. My apologies. It was Cleburne, then Gary. Gary last year. Sorry about that, folks. So V. Desai was with Gary South Shore Railcats last year, Cleburne Railroaders this year, then went to Three Rivers in the Frontier League, and now he's back for what I can only imagine would be a short amount of time. Moving over to second base, we've got Spencer Henn. Spencer most recently signed to the Wild Health Genomes during spring training. Ryan Roel, who at first base, who put on an absolute show on the Pioneer League tour. I want to say hitting 3 home runs in 4 games. As the 1-2 to Colin Miner is taken outside for ball number 2. That'll move the count to 2-2. Now looking over at left field, we've got Trey Hunt, an absolute veteran in the game. Very solid bat, a real utility guy. Plays middle infield, corner infield, and outfield. Guy's got a glove for everything. Derek Hurt, we talked about him in center field a little bit. As Miner lines that one over Reese's glove, that'll be in left field and fair. Trey Hunt will have to pick it up and make a throw over to second base, but Colin Miner is in there for a lead-off double. Possibly a single with an error. Bumbling with the ball was Trey Hunt, but we'll have to see how it wants to be scored later on. As I was saying, we talked about Derek Hurt, most recently signed in the Pioneer League. 5-tool player for sure. Cleburne, my bad. Derek Hurt was signed with the Cleburne Railroaders. That's my apologies. And finishing it off, we've got Myron Bain, someone who I personally nominate for most improved player so far. As Keegan Wright throws ball 1 to Frank Podkul. Miner takes the lead off a second. Keegan checks him. Frankie Podkul swings and hits a line drive into right field, and Bain will let it drop. He's throwing home. Miner's holding up at third, and that'll be a no-out single for Frankie Podkul to put runners on the corners. Now to bring up Slayton Vaughn. Slayton Vaughn DHing for the Road Warriors. Vaughn most recently signed to the Pioneer League, the team in Colorado. I want to say the Owls. I'm told that is correct by my scout. As Vaughn took a 24-hour drive out to Colorado from here. Keegan gets a sign, the 0-0. And that is a strike taken on the outside corner. This umpire really loving to make us wait and anticipation is the word. Very late strike calls. But it is a strike call nonetheless. Keegan checks over on Frankie Podkul over at first. He slides back in safe. Joe Torre showing manager Kyle Barrows about a thing or two over in the third base coach box. As the 0-1 comes in from Keegan, it's a slider and it's hit on into deep right center field. That will be caught by Myron Bain, but Colin Miner will tag, and the first run of the game is in. It will be a RBI sac fly by Slayton Vaughn to score catcher Colin Miner. Two fellow Texas guys right there jog their way into the dugout as they get their high fives. Well done by both of them. And that'll bring up Wadi Almonte. Wadi Almonte started the season here red hot with just an absolutely staggering, I want to say, plus 360 batting average with a couple of home runs to boot. Was swinging it real well. Has cooled off a little bit as of recently. But a speedy guy can always, as that ball was thrown away by Ryan Roel, but Tyler Reese just staying awake over there will keep Frankie Podkul over at first. As I was saying, Almonte, a guy with a whole lot of speed, got to be careful. He is not afraid to lay one down and just take his hit. Frankie Podkul takes his lead over at first. The 0-0 from Keegan, Wright, as that is swung on and hit into left field. A diving catch made by Trey Hunt. Frankie Podkul goes nowhere, and that'll be out number 2. A solid effort by Trey Hunt to catch that ball in the air and keep Frankie Podkul over at first, coming up with it quickly. That'll bring up Jarrell McDade. McDade in this month alone, I want to say, has like 4 home runs. Been red hot as of recently. The 0-0 from Keegan is a slider taken for a strike. That'll make the count 0-1. McDade takes his time, gets into the box. Frankie Podkul leads over at first. The pitch delivered from Keegan is another slider that's swung on and fouled straight back. That'll be strike number 2. Count moves to 0-2. McDade looked a little late on that slider. I personally would like to see a heater right now. McDade, not really a guy that shows bunt, and with 2 strikes and 2 outs, Tyler Reese is playing way back. That's a fastball, and that's hit over to Spencer Henn over at second base as he'll step on 2 for the easy out. And that'll be out number 3, but the damage is done. The Road Warrior Black Sox get 1 run off of 2 hits. We'll be right back after this. Welcome back, Black Sox fans. We're here in the bottom of the second inning. The score is 1-0 in favor of the defending right now Road Warrior Black Sox, as Ben Herrick, pitching with the lead, gets strike number one on Trey Hunt. That'll make the count 0-1. Herrick gets his sign, wheels, deals, and delivers the 0-1 pitch. And that looked like a changeup. That's taken low and outside for ball number one. That'll move the count to 1-1. Let's see. Trey Hunt in the box. Ryan Roel on deck. Herrick. That's taken for a ball on the outside for ball number two. Trey Hunt was signed to Martinez in the Pacific Association back in 2018. Still has managed to keep his rookie one status, though, as he checks his swing. They're currently pointing at first base coach for the Killer Bees, Kyle Robinson. Don't know why they would point for him. He is on the Killer Bees team, therefore we'll say no swing. But the 3-1 from Ben swung on, and a line drive right back into Herrick's face. Oh, my God. But it ricochets off Herrick's face and goes to shortstop Wadi Almonte, who somehow manages to make the play, firing over to Frankie Podkul over at first. And wow, that just happened. That is good news to hear. For those of you who did not hear Owen Reith, the umpire for today's game is actually a doctor. So we do have one on standby. We're going to take a quick break, as this announcer is at a loss for words at the moment. Alrighty, welcome back, Black Sox fans. So Ben Herrick is fine, apparently. Stronger man than I, for sure. Took a line drive across his face, threw a couple warm-up pitches, and said that he was good. And now finds himself ahead 0-2 on Ryan Roel. Wow, that's how you bounce back right there, folks. That is unreal. I'm kind of rooting for a strikeout right now. No offense to Ryan Roel. I'm just saying, like, who doesn't love a comeback story? But he chops one over to third base as Jared Anton fields it on the run, making the throw, and that is out number two. Great play by Jared Anton. I still can't believe the fact that Ben Herrick took one across the face and kept playing. I can't believe that Wadi Almonte made the play over at shortstop, too. That was nuts. It looked like it bounced right to him. But that'll bring up left-handed hitter Vita Sai. Vita Sai, left-handed hitting shortstop, has a lot of American Association time, as well as about half a season of Frontier League time as well. So he gets the 0-1 from lefty Ben Herrick. And that'll be called strike number 1. Vidasai showed bunt, pulled back. Don't know why, though. As the Road Warrior Black Sox seem to be shifting heavily on him. Vidasai in last year's Yinzer had a couple and a half home runs, so interesting to see him showing bunt, probably trying to take that free hit that the shift has given him. But Anton kind of shading a little bit in after just watching him make the play on the run over at third. I don't know how I feel about the bunt, but Vidasai finds himself in a 0-2 count as he fouls off the next bunt attempt. And we're here, 0-2, 2 outs. Bottom of the second inning. The pitch from Herrick is a fastball up at V's shoulders. That'll move the count to 1-2. Desai probably not willing to show bunt anymore. Probably just looking to swing away. I'd be very surprised. He could still lay one down. As he swings at that one and fouls it straight back, that'll move the count to not move the count. That'll keep the count exactly where it is at 1-2. This announcer is still a little bit in shock after seeing a line drive go off a pitcher's head. But the show goes on. Herrick seems fine. Vidasai fouls another one straight back. And the count stays 1-2. Ball comes all the way out to Jared Anton, third baseman for the Road Warriors, as he fires it over to Ben. Ben seemingly liking that ball, pitching well with it, so trying to keep it in play. As he gets his sign, delivers the 1-2 pitch. That's a slider. Looked good, but taken for a ball in the outside corner. That'll move the count to 2-2. Frankie Podkul thought it was a strike as he started jogging in from first. The pitch from Herrick is kind of swung on, kind of fouled off. It was a weird one. Another one up more towards Desai's shoulder as he tries to swing, but then tries to get out of the way and fouls it straight down. Colin Miner, an excellent salesman, though, trying to act like he caught it in fair territory. He did not. So the count stays 2-2. Herrick to Desai. Desai swung on, fouled straight back. That one will be out of play. Desai being very defensive, swinging at just about everything. Making contact, though, so battling here. This is the 7th pitch of the at-bat. As Herrick wheels, deals, and delivers. Swung on and struck out. Herrick, after taking a line drive off his face, records 2 quick outs. And at the end of 2 full innings, the score is 1-0 in favor of the Road Warrior Black Sox. We'll be right back after this. Welcome back, Black Sox fans. We're here in the top of the third inning. Pitching for the Killer Bees still is Keegan Wright. The score is currently Road Warriors 1, Killer Bees 0. Keegan looking to hang a 0 and get his team back in the dugout to scratch 1, get the score tied up.
Like the bunt first pitch by Stans.
Stanziano, the second baseman for the Road Warriors, showed bunt. You like that? I don't know. Tyler Reese is kind of creeping in. Oh, as Stanziano kind of slap swings at that one. And that's an easy chest-high ground ball right to Ryan Roel as he steps on first for out number 1. That was a little bit of a weird swing, huh?
Yeah, it was a little late. I don't think he was thinking he'd 0-1.
That one caught me off guard. But that'll bring up Trevor McKinley, who, my God, has just been tearing everyone.
Electric.
He has been unreal. As Keegan misses, making the count 1-0.
McKinley was 5 for 6 yesterday with 2 home runs and 3 walks.
And you can't even walk him because he's the league leader in stolen bags. That one's a slider taken for strike 1. Then I'll move the count to 1-1. Sorry, Owen, you were saying?
No, you're good. The man can just play in any league right now. I just got to put that out there. Any league.
Yeah, I'd agree with you. As he hits a line drive, ground ball-ish kind of, hard hit ground ball, let's call it, over to Spencer Henn. But Spencer Henn makes a diving play, can't come up with it, and that will be another hit. My God.
Making me look smart, Trevor. You can play in any league.
He was with Evansville and then with the Empire State Grays this year.
He was also with Washington in spring training last year, as well as the Genomes in spring training this year.
Hard to believe that he didn't stick. Oh, as he's picked over. Maybe that's why.
That boy Keegan.
But if there's one person...
A lot of throws in this round.
Oh!
And he got there.
My
so another
God.
swipe. Keegan does not like the call.
Jesus, right when you think like this guy did something wrong, he's got the tools to just make up for it. As manager Joe Torre walks out onto the field, he's either going to try to calm down his pitcher. I thought he was coming out to argue the call.
You know what my favorite thing about Keegan Wright is? You can't really find it on a scouting report, but the man is a competitor.
Definitely.
He is a dog when he's on the mound. I love it.
Yes. He expects perfection out of himself and wants to win above all else.
That he does.
Is that a stolen base for McKinley?
Yeah.
Unreal. I want to face him again. So, Keegan Wright will collect himself, metaphorically and physically, apparently, and try to get it done here with 1 out and a runner on second base facing his roommate, Jared Anton.
Former Sioux City Explorer.
Sioux City Explorer? Those of you at home, that is the
American Association. The
0-1 pitch is swung on and fouled down the left field line.
Got fisted a little bit there.
Fastball looked like it came in on his knuckles, and he inside outed it, which is weird. Forgot to mention that Keegan Wright also leads the league in broken bats with a staggering 13 so far this year, and has made, I want to say, 15 starts as that ball misses outside 1-1. in 15 starts has broken 13 bats. Hasn't had one today, but the man is due. As McKinley takes his lead.
Good pitch.
That's a slider, and that is not in there for a strike.
There's the dog coming out. He wanted it. I wanted it too.
I did too. We're supposed to be unbiased, but as pitchers, it's a little bit hard to not root for a well-executed pitch. But the count is 2-1, regardless of what we think up here. And that's a fastball, and that is taken for strike number 2 on the outside corner. That'll move the count to 2-2. What do you think here? Is McKinley going? 1 out, only up by 1. Some insurance would be nice. You know what?
Doesn't look like it.
I think if he was going to, it would have had to been early on in the count and give Jared Anton a chance to hit a sac fly. But right now, he's found himself in a two-strike hole. And McKinley, with the wheels that he's got over at second base, he's still scoring on a single.
Not a big lead over there either.
No. But goes anyways. But is hosed.
The lead was too small.
Lead was definitely too small. So
and it was with the lefty up too. Much easier throw for a catcher.
Is that right? I figured that it wouldn't matter for them.
With the righty, they got to take an extra step. I was just talking to Trey Hunt in the locker room about that yesterday.
I gotta confirm that with Colin Miner. I feel like they see so many righties that it doesn't really matter for them. But the full count pitch is swung on and fouled straight back.
Well, luckily for the keep on doubting, I think that's the new name of the Killer Bees now that Cole is gone. The rundown now ineffective because McKinley got thrown out. They messed the rundown up. Way too many throws.
You think so?
Yeah.
As that is swung on for strike 3. Looks like a combio there by Keegan.
That's his best pitch.
He doesn't really throw it that often.
It is his best, though. He should throw it more. But it is his put-away pitch, too, so well executed.
Well executed indeed. And going into the bottom of the third, the score is 1-0 in favor of the Road Warrior Black Sox. We'll be right back after this. Welcome back, Black Sox fans. We're here in the bottom of the third inning of the Road Warrior Black Sox versus the Killer Bee Sox, as the Road Warrior Black Sox currently leading 1-0. But that might change as Spencer Henn, leading off this inning, hits a deep fly ball to right field, but that'll be caught by McDade, and that'll be a quick out, number one. Pitcher for the Road Warrior Black Sox, Ben Herrick, currently has a no-hitter going.
Some people call him Hedrick.
That is information I didn't know, folks.
That would just be me.
But Yo Soto is taken for a ball. The 1-0 taken for strike number one. That'll move the count to 1-1. Personally, I don't know much about the catcher Soto. Maybe Owen could shine a little light on him.
I actually do not. I believe he was in the USPBL before this.
As he hits a ball high, but right at Cody Lovejoy in center field for out number two. 2 outs on 4 pitches for Ben Herrick.
Efficient. You got an 8-pitch first.
Does he have any punchies?
No. No.
Well, it doesn't matter now because he's got a no-hitter, and that's the more important thing. As stepping into the box is Myron Mabane. As Mabane takes that for strike number one in the outside corner.
Mabane seldom strikes out. I think last year in his first 50 at-bats, he had 0 strikeouts.
Really?
Yeah.
As he lines one over the shortstop's head, and that will be in there for the first hit for the Killer Bees. Myron Mabane breaks up the no-hitter in the bottom of the third inning for Ben Herrick. And that'll bring up leadoff man Tyler Reese. Tyler Reese, we talked about this guy a little bit. Friendly with everybody as he gives catcher Colin Miner a little tap on the shins. Miner playing along with him, not letting him. But now comes serious time. As Mabane takes his lead, Herrick comes set, checks him over at first. The 0-0 is a slow curveball taken for strike number one on the outside corner. Tyler Reese probably looking for a heater there. 0-0. Didn't get one. Throw it again, Herrick. As this time he goes to a changeup, I believe, for a swing strike number two.
I go with something soft again.
I would too. In the dirt. Tyler Reese, a very aggressive hitter. Likes to swing at stuff that's close. As Mabane takes off for second, but Tyler Reese punches out. And that'll be another quick inning for Ben Herrick.
First hit surrendered, first strikeout, though.
Is it worth the trade?
Yeah.
We say it's worth the trade here up in the booth. We're going into the top of the fourth inning. Road Warrior Black Sox lead the Killer Bees 1-0. Welcome back, Black Sox fans. We're here in the top of the fourth inning. Road Warrior Black Sox currently hitting right now. They're leading the Killer Bees 1-0. Leading off for the Road Warriors is Cody Lovejoy against Keegan Wright, who's still in the game. Keegan gets a sign. Yo-oh is a fastball taken upstairs for ball number 1. Cody Lovejoy, very patient hitter. You have to pitch to him. As he swings at a well-executed slider for strike number 1. That'll move the count to 1-1. Really good-looking slider there by Keegan. Very well executed. Do you go back to the well?
It was Lovejoy. You got to go 1-1 off speed.
I know Joe preaches the 1-1 take. Let's see if it happens here. As a not executed fastball is in there for ball number 2. That'll move the count to 2-1. So, Cody's Lovejoy batting average just skyrocketed 100 points. So says the statistics. As the 2-1 comes in, and that's taken for strike number 2. Fastball. Looked right down the middle. Maybe on the inside corner, though. It's a little bit hard to see up here in the booth. The 2-2 is a slider. Swung on and fouled back. That'll keep the count at 2-2. You said Keegan's put away pitches his changeup, huh? I would love to see him go to it here.
See a right-on-right changeup. I'd like that. Show me something. Heater
is fouled off down the third base line, and we'll do the 2-2 again. I know we've all got friends and stuff like that in minor league or even some affiliate, some big league guys. My buddy in the AA says that his whole world changed when he realized that right-on-right changeups are just a gnarly pitch to get dudes out with. But doesn't look like that's what Keegan goes with. That'll move the count to 3-2. I want to start throwing more left-on-left changeups. What do you think?
Yeah.
Might be a little dangerous, though. Lefty's low and in is the nitro zone, as Chad Rhodes always put it. But fastball is swung on and fouled back. We'll do it again here in just a bit. Cody Lovejoy not going gently into that good night. We're on pitch number 6 of this at-bat. Pitch from Wright. Looked like he did go with the changeup there, but missed low and outside. That'll move the count to 3-2. Wright gets his sign. The payoff pitch to Lovejoy is a fastball swung on and hit down the third base line. Fair. That'll be extra bases for Cody Lovejoy as he's round second and heads into third. Trey Hunt fields the ball in left field, throws it into shortstop, Vita Sai, and Cody Lovejoy is aboard with a leadoff double. A good battle by Cody Lovejoy. I want to say an 8-pitch battle by Cody Lovejoy nets him a leadoff double, and that'll bring up catcher Colin Miner. Previously mentioned, my vote for best hitter in the Yinzer so far this year. What do you think, Owen? Miner versus McKinley. That's a tough one, right?
Both of them, my pals. I'm not gonna comment. I'm gonna plead the fifth on that one.
As Miner swings at the 0-0 heater, but it's lined directly at Trey Hunt in left field. But Cody Lovejoy tags and makes it to third. He came up short on the slide, but the throw was just off enough to make it so that Cody Lovejoy was still safe in there over at third. And They got a runner on third with less than 2 outs. Keegan needs a punch out. This is where boys become men. As Frank Podkul, a very dangerous bat, with some American Association time, some Frontier League time all under his belt. A nuisance, personally, for me to face. Steps into the box with a fresh 0-0 count, looking to do some damage. The pitch from Keegan is swung on, skied high. Over at second base, Spencer Henn's got a beat on it as he makes the catch, and Cody Lovejoy can't tag on that. That is a big out for Keegan and the Killer Bees. As it's now 2 outs, but he's not out of the woods yet. Dangerous big man Slayton Vaughn comes to the plate, stepping into the box at a staggering 8 feet tall, 500 pounds. Obviously an exaggeration here in the booth, but he is a tall drink of water. That is for sure. At an impressive 6'7". As he takes a fastball inside for ball number 1. Cody Lovejoy, soft lead over there at third. The 1-0 pitch from Wright to Vaughn. That's a ground ball right up the middle, and that'll be a base knock. An RBI ground ball single for Slayton Vaughn as he gives the Road Warrior Black Sox some insurance, moves the score to 2-0 on their 5th hit of the day. Looked like it came at Keegan pretty fast there as he could not come up with the play. And that'll bring up Wadi Almonte. Wadi Almonte, the speedster. Tyler Reese has to play a little bit in. The 0-0 from Keegan is a slider on the back foot, taken for a ball. Well-executed pitch, just not the count to do it in. Keegan gets a sign. Is a fastball hit down the third base line. That'll be foul.
Waddy, if you're listening to this later, I love how you play. Let's speed the bat up a little bit, though. It just looks a little tardy right now. The barrel.
The timing of the swing or like the hands?
The hands. Just looks a tad bit tardy.
Well, the 1-1 from Wright is a slider. Well executed on the inside corner. That'll be strike number 2. Keegan flirting with the nitro zone there, as previously mentioned. Lefty down and in. That's really their pitch. But Almonte takes it. Count moves to 1-2.
Tardy.
Pitch from Wright is a fastball swung on and hit down the line, foul. If I'm Keegan, I'm sticking with fastball here. Anything else is there's a possibility from him actually catching up to it. But the fastball doesn't seem like he can make the adjustment to put it in fair territory. But it looks like it's a changeup, and that's hit on the ground for a base hit. So a pitcher can have good stuff, but if the pitch selection isn't quite there, they can still get hit around a little bit. As I learned yesterday, and as Keegan Wright is learning right now, that'll bring to the box Jarrell McDade.
You could throw McDade in the running for the best hitter right now, too, I would say.
Right, because he's got does he have more homers than Minor? Well, recently, yeah. As he adds another one. Oh, my God.
These guys are just making me look smart right now on the broadcast.
Dear Lord. Jarrell McDade, Texas boy. And ironically, the guy from Texas hits it about a country mile over the fence. And That'll move the score to 5-0 in favor of the Road Warriors. So what was looking very doable for the Killer Bees just got a whole lot more difficult as Stanziano steps into the box. Stan's weak ground ball to first base in his first AB. Keegan maybe getting a little flustered, wanting to hit somebody. Throws it.
I don't think that was the case there. I wouldn't put it past him. He's a competitor, but
let's put some narrative to this game of baseball here.
Good pitch.
Wow. After throwing the ball at a dude's shoulder to come back with a slider, breaking in on the same plane, those pitches tunneled well. Throw it again.
Good.
But Stanziano knows now that Keegan's not going to hit him, but can't catch up to the slider as he fouls that one off, and that'll move the count to 1-2. Come back with the heater.
I'm going with another slider here.
No shot. Heater.
Prove to me you can hit it.
Heater.
And he missed.
So
this goes back to the sequencing we were talking. Well, you and Skyler.
He should have missed. Well, he should have missed more at his face and moved his head again. Then that opens up the slider. But let's see what he does here.
Here.
Fastball fouled straight back. That'll keep the count 2-2. Keegan gets a sign, delivers a pitch. It's a slider there, but it's fouled off.
Oh.
And a great catch in the stands. Some fan will go home with a lucky souvenir.
Pretty sure you get paid when that happens.
Really?
Yeah, that was the rule last year. If you catch it and it doesn't get scuffed up, you get money.
What am I doing in the booth? Fastball, fouled straight back again.
Ortiz can't get that one.
No payday on that pitch. As Stanziano, being a menace, hasn't come close to hitting anything in fair territory, but now he does, as that's a line drive, but Hurt will not come up with it.
I like that. Good aggressive turn by Stans there.
The way Hurt played it, there was a high possibility of him misplaying that. Didn't, obviously, but so he kept him at first. But good job by Stanziano making an adjustment, going from fouling pitches nowhere near fair territory to line drive up the middle.
You know, in a long inning like this for Keegan, this is the last guy I'd want to see right now.
Yeah. Already giving up a home run to McDade, and now you've got a dude in the box who just is absolutely red hot. Kind of don't really want to walk him either. So I was actually talking to Colin Miner before the game, and I was saying that playing behind guys actually helps you hit against them more than hitting against them does. It's a little bit of a hot take, but hear me out on this. So Keegan, originally from the Wolfpack, and McKinley, also originally from the Wolfpack. McKinley, playing left field behind Keegan, has had to have been locked into every pitch that Keegan has ever thrown this summer so far. Whereas when you're hitting against him, you
crossed him up there.
Yep, as Keegan crosses up his catcher Soto and Stanziano moves over to second. So when you're hitting against someone, yes, you get the live look, but you're in the dugout, you might be grabbing your helmet or something like that. You're not really paying attention to every single pitch the dude is throwing, not like you are when you're playing in the field behind them. A little bit of a hot take, but it's what I'm going with. As McKinley swings at a fastball, skies one down the third base line. Reese running hard for it, but runs into the wall. Not literally, but ran out of room as he comes up on the wall.
1-1. What do you think? A change up here to the lefty McKinley. Whatever you're going to throw, you got to execute it to him.
Yeah. Just don't put it in the middle. Don't put it in the middle. I think that he can throw anything right now. It's just as long as it doesn't miss middle. Changeup, well executed, maybe breaks the bat. And that'll be a ground ball over to Spencer Henn at second base, who fields it cleanly and throws over to first. But the damage is done yet again. Road Warrior Black Sox now lead the Killer Bees 5-0 on 8 hits. We'll be right back after this. Welcome back, Black Sox fans. We're here in the bottom of the 4th inning of the Road Warriors versus the Killer Bees. The Road Warriors, currently in the field right now, are leading the Killer Bees 5-0 as Ben Herrick delivers the 0-0 pitch to pinch hitter Omar Artson for strike one. Omar is a solid middle infielder / outfielder who most recently spent time with the Lexington Legends as he swings to that pitch, making the count 0-2. Most recently signed with the Lexington Legends. However, his baseball reference has a very rich history, going so far back as to have minor league time, but he strikes out there on 3 pitches. Minor league time with the Detroit Tigers, I believe. As that'll bring to the box Derek Hurt. Ben Herrick in an absolute groove right now, the pitcher for the Road Warriors. Killer Bees seem like they really can't get anything started against him. Derek Hurt looking to change that as he gets the 0-0 pitch. Swung on and fouled down the right field line. That'll be strike number 1. Hurt checks his bat, makes sure it's not broken as he got fisted on that pitch. Hurt steps in. The 0-1 pitch is swung on and fouled off again. A little later that time, as the count moves now to 0-2. The 0-2 from Herrick to Hurt is a changeup that looked like it missed high, but it's fouled straight back. That'll keep the count at 0-2. And that's a fastball hit on up the middle, and that'll be a single for Derek Hurt. So the Killer Bees now have their second hit of the game, coming off of a ground ball single up the middle by Derek Hurt. That'll bring up Trey Hunt. Trey Hunt, the veteran before the roster block, went on a little bit of a tear, was red hot, had a couple home runs himself. Looking to get back into the groove of things. Hurt takes his lead. Hunt in the box. Herrick on the mound. Kicks and picks over to first. But not really much of a play over there, as Frank Podkol, the first baseman for the Road Warriors, just catches it and throws it back. Herrick to Hunt. That's a slow curveball in there for strike number 1. Trey Hunt loves hunting fastballs, so another pitch is a slider now with the back foot. Trey Hunt takes it. That'll make the count 1-1. Killer Bees are running out of daylight here. They need to make something happen. They're chasing 5 runs. Pitch from Herrick. Swung on and fouled back into the glove. That'll make the count 1-2. Trey Hunt not happy with his swing there. Kind of looked like a half swing. Count is 1-2. With a 5-run lead, I don't think Hurt is really going anywhere, but Herrick checks over there just to be safe. Trying to keep the double play in order, make sure that his team has a good chance of getting back in the dugout on one pitch here. Hurt goes on the pitch, but Trey Hunt hits it up the middle. Hurt will be safe over there at second. Almonte throws over to first for out number 2. Interesting kind of hit and run looking play by the Killer Bees. Unfortunately, Trey Hunt just hit it up the middle, so Almonte was already going that way to cover the base. You got to think if Hurt doesn't go there, then maybe Almonte not really in that same position to make the play there at second base, but regardless, he is. Inside move from Herrick, checking over on it Hurt. Killer Bees chasing 5 runs here. They've got 2 outs. Ryan Roel steps into the box. Roel, a big power guy. As he hits a ball directly at Cody Lovejoy, didn't even have to move a step. Cody Lovejoy makes the catch and records out number 3. So after these messages, we'll be going into the top of the 5th. The Road Warriors lead the Killer Bees 5-0. Welcome back, Black Sox fans. We're here in the top of the fifth inning of the Road Warriors versus the Killer Bees. The Road Warriors, currently hitting right now, lead the Killer Bees 5-0. Keegan Wright, the starter for the Killer Bees, still in the game as he delivers the 0-0 pitch to leadoff man Jared Anton. That'll be ball number 1. Anton swings at the 1-0 pitch, fouls it down the left field line. That'll make the count 1-1. Battle of the roommates currently going on. As Joe likes to say, usually in Florida, this decides who gets the bed tonight. The 1-1 pitch is a slider in there for a called strike. Joe, when he says that, referring to the fact that we've got some grinders out here, some dudes willing to sleep on the floor if that means they get their chance to play baseball. The 1-2 pitch from Keegan Wright is lined into center field. Hurt will let it fall for a leadoff single by Jared Anton. Keegan potentially crossing up his catcher again. They've done that once already this game. That'll bring up Cody Lovejoy. Cody Lovejoy, a veteran among veterans. This guy knows what it takes to play at the professional level. Good hitter, solid player all around. Good dude, quiet dude. He gets the 0-0. There's a slider, swung on and hit down the right field line, but that'll be foul into the bullpen of the Killer Bees. As Keegan checks Anton over at first. Kicks and delivers the 0-1. As that one is up by Cody's shoulder. That'll move the count to 1-1. Not necessarily a bad thing for a pitcher to make the hitter move his head. As he comes set, delivers the 1-1 pitch, is a slider, swung on and fouled off for strike number 2. Keegan starting to rely heavily on that slider. As this game goes on, it seems like he's throwing it more and more. But he finds himself ahead on Cody Lovejoy, 1-2. That's a fastball swung on for strike 3. A late swing by Cody Lovejoy on a fastball will record a strikeout for Keegan Wright, out number 1 for the Killer Bees, and that'll bring up Colin Miner for the Road Warrior Sox. Miner swinging it well today. Has a double down the left field line, and a line out to the left fielder. As he gets the 0-0, that's a slider swung on and fouled off. That'll be strike number 1. Anton has taken some conservative leads over there at first. Probably not planning on going anywhere. With Colin Miner up, who's got a whole lot of pop. Don't want to run into an out when there's a chance that you might be trotting the bases in a couple seconds. That's a slider low and outside. That'll be ball number 1. Move the count to 1-1. Miner sees that outside pitch very well. Still with a conservative lead over there at first. 1-1 pitch is a changeup. Another one low and outside. That'll move the count to 2-1. Some not so executed pitches by Keegan there. Got ahead 0-1, now falls behind 2-1. The pitch is a fastball. I thought it was strike number 2. Umpire said it was low, maybe. Regardless of what I think, the count moves to 3-1. 3-1. 2 minor is a slider. And that'll be ball number 4. So minor trots on down to first. That'll bring up Frank Podkul. Frank Podkul was with the Joliet Slammers. And then the Sioux Falls, or Sioux City, I'm sorry. Not quite sure which one. He was in Sioux. I know that. In the American Association, regardless. As he takes that 0-0 fastball for a strike. Anton at second. Colin Miner at first. Frank Podkul in the box. Keegan Wright still on the mound. That's a fastball. Check, swing. Did he go? Does anybody know? No. 1-1. Pretty tough to make that call when you're a one-man crew. Don't really have a whole lot of help. So the 1-1 is a fastball on the inside corner for strike number 2. Count moves to 1-2. Some well-executed pitches now by Wright. Very nice to see after a walk to Colin Miner. The pitch. That is a changeup, I believe, that missed just low, moving count to 2-2. Wright looked like he wanted the call. As that ball misses low and outside, that'll make the count full. Frankie Podkul found himself in a 1-2 hole, now battles back to a full count. Keegan Wright takes a stride to lock in here. Got to make this pitch count. He's only got one out here. A runner on third would be detrimental to the Killer Bees' comeback. The payoff pitch to Podkul is fouled off. And we'll do it again here shortly. No movement from the Killer Bees bullpen. They're riding and dying with Keegan Wright. The payoff pitch. Swung on and hit into the left center gap. Trey Hunt looks like he's got a beat on it. He'll make the catch and fire over to second base, and they record the double play to get out number 3. Anton read the ball in the gap, it looked like. Trey Hunt with a great route to make the catch and fire over to second for out number 3. We'll be going into the bottom of the 5th inning after this. Score is 5-0 in favor of the Road Warriors. Welcome back, Black Sox fans. We're here in the bottom of the fifth inning. The Road Warriors leading the Killer Bees 5-0. Stepping into the box for the Killer Bees is V. Desai. It's V. Desai's first day back here in the Yinzer after spending time with Cleburne and then Three Rivers as he takes ball number 1 inside. And now he'll take ball number 2 inside. That'll move the count to 2-0. V. Desai, good hitter. A lot of pop for what is not the brawniest looking guy. But man, can he swing that bat, and he can swing it hard. But he takes that slider outside for strike number 1. On the outside corner, I should say. The 2-1 is swung on, and a good hit line drive into right field, but McDade's got a beat on it as he'll make the catch for out number 1. I'll bring up Spencer Henn. Spencer Henn played with the Southern Illinois Miners last year. They're no longer a team. Played with the Wild Health Genomes during spring training. As he steps into the box. Some Killer Bees looking to spark something here. We're in the bottom of the fifth inning. They're chasing 5. As Spencer Henn, usually a guy who swings it pretty well, shows bunt for strike number 1. Killer Bees trying to start something. Herrick has been absolutely dominant this outing. He misses with a fastball outside, though. That'll move the count to 1-1. The pitch. It's a changeup, looks like. Missed outside. That'll make the count 2-1. No activity in either bullpen. Killer Bees seem like they'll be sending out Keegan Wright again for a 6th inning of work after this. As Spencer Henn hits a hard ground ball over to third base, but Jared Anton comes up with it and fires over to Frankie Podkul at first for out number 2. You can understand the lack of activity in the Road Warriors bullpen as Herrick has been wildly efficient with at least 2 innings of single-digit pitch counts as catcher Soto steps into the box. And he takes strike 1. A little bit of confusion. Hard to see that inside corner here. Didn't really see what the umpire did with his hands there. It looks like a strike. As Soto swings and chops one over to third base, Anton again comes up with it and fires over to Frankie Podkul at first for out number 3. Another quick inning by Ben Herrick now. I think that's 3 innings now with single-digit pitch counts. Going into the top of the 6th, the Road Warriors still lead the Killer Bees 5-0 as they can't seem to start anything. Keegan Wright is going back out there for a 6th inning of work. We'll be back after this. Welcome back, Black Sox fans. We're here in the top of the 6th inning. Leading off with the Road Warriors is Slayton Vaughn as he takes a slider in there for a strike. Slayton Vaughn, the big boy. Keegan Wright still on the mound for the Killer Bees. As he throws another slider on the outside corner for strike number 2. Well executed pitch there by Keegan. Good take by Vaughn, too. Not much you can do with that pitch. The count now is 0-2. Keegan throws another slider. That's hit on now to center field, but Derek Hurt's got a beat on it. He'll make the catch for out number 1. Right now showing off a little bit of efficiency as he gets 1 out on 3 pitches. That'll bring up Wadi Almonte. Left-handed middle infielder for the Wolfpack. He steps into the box with that wide stance of his. A little bit open as well. Keegan comes set. The 0-0. As a fastball swung on and hit down the, well, let's just say straight back. Kind of off into the stands there over behind the first base dugout. Count is 0-1. Keegan Wright comes set, delivers the pitch. That's a slider. Swung on and a little ground ball over to shortstop, but Videsai can't come up with it as Almonte is aboard on first base with a 1-out error. At least I want to say error for right now. Not really quite sure how we're going to score it. Almonte is a speedster, so there maybe was a chance that he's safe on that ball, so it might be called a hit. Either way, that'll bring up McDade. McDade with a 3-run homer today already. As he shows bunt. And that is a bunting strike. I don't want to say swinging strike. Interesting, the guy with the home run shows bunt. Just shows the versatility that comes with being a Black Sox. Everybody can do a little bit of everything around here. As Keegan Wright picks over to Almonte. Don't want to have him steal second and not keep the double play in order. Keegan looking for a ground ball in the infield to roll 2 and get out of this inning quickly. But Almonte goes. And the throw is in time, getting him at second base. Recording the second out for the Killer Bees. Good throw, good tag. Not sure what the pitch was. Now we know as it was a strike. That makes the count 0-2. Almonte looked like he had a good jump, but gets gunned down at second. That'll clear the bases for Keegan Wright. As he now finds himself ahead of Jarrell McDade, 0-2. And a slider gets McDade to strike out for out number 3. So a quick inning for Keegan Wright himself. That'll take us to the bottom of the 6th inning. Score is still 5-0 in favor of the Road Warriors. We'll be back after this. Welcome back, Black Sox fans. We're here in the bottom of the sixth inning of the Road Warriors versus the Killer Bees. Leading off for the Killer Bees is Myron Mabane in what has been a dominant pitching performance by Ben Herrick. As Mabane swings at the 0-0 fastball and lines one up the middle for a leadoff single. Hopefully that can spark something for the Killer Bees, as this has just been a steamrolling by Ben Herrick. That'll bring up the leadoff man, Tyler Reese. Tyler Reese with a whole lot of Frontier League time. Herrick most recently signed to the Lexington Legends out of the Atlantic League. Mabane taking his lead over at first. Herrick gives him a stare. The 0-0 to Reese, as that's a fastball taken outside for ball number one. Killer Bees need to start something here. They're running out of time. We've got 2 innings left to do it, and they're chasing 5. You'd like to see them scratch at least 3 if you're a Bees fan. The 1-0 from Herrick is a changeup that misses outside. That'll make the count 2-0. However, falling behind to Tyler Reese really isn't the biggest deal in the world, considering the guy hates to walk. Very aggressive hitter with three balls on him. As Herrick checks over on Mabane, making sure that he's not going anywhere. The 2-0 pitch is a slider for a called strike. That'll make the count 2-1. Mabane short lead over at first. Herrick gives him a look, fake steal. And Herrick misses again with the changeup outside. That'll make the count 3-1. Tyler Reese in this count, usually an auto swing. Let's see what he does here. Herrick looking at Mabane. Tyler Reese calls time. Another fake steal again, and Tyler Reese, as sure as the wind blows, swings 3-1 and doesn't connect with it, making the count full. Runner takes off, but the pitch is outside, and Tyler Reese takes his walk, probably reluctantly. As now the Killer Bees have sparked something here. They've got 2 guys on with no outs, and Omar Artson up. Artson, one of the better hitters in the lineup. However, he struck out on 3 pitches last time because, well, Ben Herrick has been just that good today. Herrick checks his runners. The 0-0 pitch to Omar. Big swing by Omar on the fastball on the outside corner. Comes up empty. That'll make the count 0-1. Coming set by Herrick. Checking over on Mabane. That's a back foot slider as Omar gets out of the way of that. Not doing the toe taps like he did yesterday. Little Moringa dancing or something along those lines yesterday was Omar in the box. Not so much today. Potentially more locked in, potentially angry about his previous strikeout. It's all just speculation at this point, but the count is 1-1. That is not speculation as the pitch comes in. Omar swings again, comes up empty as well for strike number 2. That'll make the count 1-2. Not sure if Omar just isn't seeing the ball well today, but he's come up empty on every swing that he's taken so far today. However, he's only taken about 3, so Might just be exaggerating right now. McBain leading off at second. Tyler Reese over at first. Omar swings, line drive over the shortstop's head. McBain will score. The ball is misplayed by McKinley in left field. That'll move Tyler Reese over to third base. And Omar has an RBI single in the first run in for the Killer Bees. As now the lead is cut to 5-1 on an RBI single by Omar Artson over Wadi Almonte's head at shortstop. That'll bring up Derek Hurt. Derek Hurt, I believe, today has one hit. McBain had the only multi-hit game for the Killer Bees so far, as he's in to score. Tyler Reese is over there at third. He got on by a walk. Score is 5-1. Still in favor of the Road Warriors, but Herrick has finally given up a run today. And Derek Hurt, big swing, comes up empty on a changeup outside. Herrick has really been kind of hammering that spot with changeups today. Finally gets somebody to bite on it. His account now 0-1. Tyler Reese at third. Omar Artson at first. That's a slider in there for strike number 2. Derek Hurt just looked at that one. That was a good combo right there. A ball going away and then a ball breaking in. Let's see what he comes back with here. The count is 0-2 to Derek Hurt. Swung on a choppy ground ball over to Stanziano at second base. Stanziano's got to come up fast with it. Derek Hurt is safe over at first. Tyler Reese scores. The Killer Bees now have 2 runs this inning with Omar Artson and Derek Hurt now over at first. Omar at second. The choppy little swinging bunt is enough to get an RBI single for Derek Hurt, and that'll bring up Trey Hunt. Trey Hunt, the veteran, may be looking to get big here and hit the ball over the fence and tie this game up. Either way, one swing now can change this. He is the tying run at the plate, but he shows bunt. I want to say called strike. I believe Hunt thought it was a little up, but Trey Hunt just showed bunt. Oh, as Omar Artson gets picked off. Omar in a rundown. Derek Hurt follows to second. Artson is called out. Oh, my. Right when you think that the Killer Bees are starting to get ahead of steam here, Omar Artson gets picked off over at second base. And now the tying run is on deck. And his name is Ryan Roel. But Trey Hunt has to hit first, as Derek Hurt made it to second on the play. Omar stayed in the pickle long enough to make that happen. I believe the count is 1-0. We got that wrong up here in the booth. We weren't quite sure what happened, but we've got the scoreboard right now. The count is 1-0. Derek Hurt takes his lead off a second. Herrick, another inside move. Imagine he got another one there. Herrick taking his time, being very cautious with the Killer Bees over at second base. As Trey Hunt lines one into center field, Cody Lovejoy's got a beat on it, makes a great running catch. Derek Hurt tags up from second base. So he makes his way over to third. But that'll be out number 2 for the Road Warrior Black Sox as Ryan Roel steps into the box for the Killer Bees. He is not the tying run, as Trey Hunt's at-bat led to an out. Herrick takes a stroll around the mound, digging deep, not wanting to give up any more runs this inning. Ryan Roel in the box. Derek Hurt over at third. Herrick steps off, letting his infield shift on Roel. They're in position now. And Roel swings the first pitch and skies one high down the right field line. That will be out of play, foul. If you're a Killer Bee fan, folks, you just held your breath on that one. That was an interesting swing for Ryan Roel, but doesn't lead to an out, just leads to a long strike as Derek Hurt almost got picked off there. Herrick was just stepping off, waiting for his infield to shift again. That was an interesting series of events. But the 0-1 back foot slider is swung on. That moves the count to 0-2. So here comes the 0-2 pitch. Roel finds himself in not a great spot here as Hurt leads off from third. Swung on and missed. Herrick comes up with a big strikeout to keep the Killer Bees only at 2. But the Killer Bees have done some damage themselves. The score is now 5-2 going into the top of the 7th. We'll be right back after this. Welcome back, Black Sox fans. We're here in the top of the 7th inning. The Road Warriors currently leading the Killer Bees 5-2. Killer Bees starter Keegan Wright still in the game as he misses inside or called strike. Not quite sure what that one was. Our doctor umpire here is not the clearest when it comes to his hand signs, but it's been a good umpire thus far. As Stanziano hits a weak ground ball over to Spencer Henn at second base. He fielded it cleanly and threw over to Ryan Roel at first for out number 1. That'll bring up the guy that everybody's talking about right now in the Yinzer, Trevor McKinley. McKinley has been, well, we talked about it earlier. He's just been on fire as of recent. But a good challenge for Keegan Wright. And Keegan, as also previously mentioned, a competitor. And that's gone. Yeah. Another home run by Trevor McKinley as he now gives the Road Warrior Black Sox their 6th run of the game. And this dude just can't be stopped. So, after he takes his trot, that'll bring up Jared Anton for the Road Warriors. just wow. Sorry, folks. I'm at a loss for words a little bit here. This guy just needs to get out of here. Anton hits a hard ground ball over to Ryan Roel, but he fields it cleanly and steps on it for out number 2. So, despite that home run by McKinley, a quick 2 outs here for Keegan Wright. And if you're the Killer Bees, it's not the worst thing in the world because you were already chasing 3, which is a pretty sizable lead going into the last inning of the game. And at least your pitcher just got you 2 quick outs. So if he can get Cody Lovejoy here quickly, like as he does, Cody Lovejoy hits a little chopper over to V. Desai at shortstop, and he fields it cleanly and fires over for out number 3. So a quick inning by the Killer Bees, like regardless of the home run. They're chasing 4 now instead of 3, but really that's all you can ask for is get on and off the field as quick as possible and try and figure it out with the bats. As do the Road Warriors go to their pen this inning, or do they leave Ben Herrick in? Herrick, who was just dominating this outing. Interested to see if they let him go the CG or if they give him a handshake and say, you did your job, good job, and go to the pen. I believe the Road Warriors themselves are figuring it out, but we'll be back after this with an answer for you. Welcome back, Black Sox fans. We're here in the bottom of the 7th inning, the last inning, as the Road Warriors try to hang on to their 6-2 lead. As Ben Herrick, the starter for the Road Warriors, is still in the game, going strong as he throws strike number 1 to pinch hitter Taylor Olmstead. Olmstead was drafted in the 13th round of the, I want to say, 2019 MLB draft. Not quite sure exactly on that one. I know it was the 13th round. I know it was somewhat recently, but he finds himself in a 1-1 count as he swings big at that fastball outside. Herrick just seems like he's got a whole lot of horizontal movement today. That'd make the count 1-2. This is last licks for the Killer Bees as Olmstead is their leadoff man. They need to get something started, and they chose this guy to come off the bench and make it happen for them. as he swings at that fastball up and in and fouls it off. That keeps the count at 1-2. Killer Bees have 3 outs to score 4 runs, or we're shaking hands here in Washington, Pennsylvania. Herrick set already. Olmstead just now steps into the box. Kind of made Herrick wait for that one, as he fights off that slider desperately, barely getting a piece of it. Herrick looking to go the distance in this game. Has thrown 6 great innings of baseball so far, only allowing 2 runs on 5 hits. The 1-2 from Herrick to Olmstead is, not in there. Yeah, so that'll move the count to 2-2. I thought that was a good enough pitch to get him there, but Dr. Umpire said it was low, and his opinion is the only one that matters when it comes to balls and strikes, as Taylor Olmstead lifts that high and deep into right field, but that'll be foul, as it tucks away over there in the corner. I want to say over on the rocks that they have going on there by the Wild Things clubhouse. There's a little rocky path over there by the bullpen where the clubhouse is, but count stays 2-2. Olmstead staying alive versus Herrick here, and that is a cutter in there for strike 3 on the outside corner, as Herrick gets another strikeout here in the bottom of the 7th inning to record out number 1 for the Road Warriors, and they are that much closer to tasting victory. Standing in the way of that victory, though, is now Spencer Henn. Henn, previously mentioned, some Frontier League time, some Atlantic League time, good hitter, solid middle infielder, really just solid infielder in general, as he takes the changeup there for a strike. That was a little low, but down the middle. Well executed, though, off-speed pitch, trying to catch him out in front. Henn didn't want any part of that spin, as now the 0-1 comes in by Herrick, and that's a fastball, and that's driven into the left center gap. McKinley can't get there. That'll be down for at least a single. McKinley fields it cleanly and fires into Wadi Almonte, the shortstop, and Spencer Henn is aboard with a 1-out single. So for the Killer Bees, that'll bring up Nick Dabrowski, the pinch hitter. Dabrowski, been swinging it well this year, was the Killer Bees leader in average for a while there. Possibly still is, now that I think about it, honestly. I haven't seen the updated numbers as of recently, but going into the 3rd roster block, Dabrowski was the guy. When you needed to hit, the odds say that this dude was going to get it done, and the Killer Bees do just that. They need a hit, and they go to this guy, as he swings the first pitch down the third base line, but that'll be foul. Anton having to come up with a running play there, but goes just foul. A little bit of kind of a swing bunt, a little bit harder than that, though. But not necessarily a hard hit ground ball, as Dabrowski catches that one way out in front. Potentially a changeup there by Herrick, as he seems like he's going to 0-0 changeup more often now here and later on in the game, as he throws what I want to say is another changeup, and that gets right by Dabrowski for strike number 2. That makes the count 0-2. Killer Bees chasing 4. Spencer Henn short lead over there at first. He knows that his run means nothing right now in this last inning of play here, as the 0-2 from Herrick to Dabrowski, as he hits one high into center field, and Cody Lovejoy barely having to move for any of these fly balls. Man, this guy just reads the scouting report. He knows exactly where these Killer Bee guys are going to hit it. And when he catches the fly ball, he moves maybe 1 or 2 steps and just nonchalantly brings it in for out number 2. So that'll bring up Myron Mabane. Mabane, the only guy in the Killer Bees lineup with 2 hits today. He is potentially the last hitter that Herrick's going to need to face, but no, he's not, because Mabane has his third hit of the game with a single into shallow left center field. That's kind of been his MO today, is he's just been peppering that spot right over Almonte's head. As now that'll bring up Tyler Reese with Spencer Henn over at second base and Myron Mabane over at first. Tyler Reese would have been the tying run had McKinley not hitting an absolute moonshot to make the score 6-2 instead of 5-2. But Herrick, here we go to Reese. As Reese swings and hits that one good, but McKinley's got a beat on it and he makes the catch. A solid line drive there from Tyler Reese. But he lines out to McKinley, who read the scouting report himself, making the catch and securing the win for the Road Warriors. That is a final score of 6-2. The Road Warriors with 10 hits and no errors. The Killer Bees with 7 hits and 1 errors. That's the game, folks. And we will be back with game number 2 in about 20 minutes. Thanks for stopping by.